My entire graduation was hanging by a thread, hijacked by a teammate who texted me that she was too busy clubbing to write a single word of our final project. When she aggressively told me to get off her back just 24 hours before the deadline, I didn't argue. I simply opened an email to our professor, attached the screenshots of her partying, and prepared to end her academic career. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're looking at a post that will give anyone who has ever done a group project absolute war flashbacks. We are jumping into the Am I the A-hole subreddit for a post by user no_Cs_Caropicia. Let's see what happens. I'm a 21-year-old female, and I'm finally in my last semester of college. Honestly, I'm so close to the finish line I can taste it, and I'm just praying I graduate this May. Here's some context about me. I'm a first-generation college student. That means neither of my parents went to college, so all the pressure is on me. I genuinely, deeply care about getting good grades because I feel like I owe it to my family for all their sacrifices. Failing is literally not an option for me. This semester, I am taking a class that requires a massive group project. It is a group of 4 people, and we have to analyze and propose new policies. It sounds boring, but the main thing you need to know is that this single project makes up a huge chunk of our final grade for the whole semester. If we mess this up, we fail the class. The project proposal is due this Friday, and honestly, my group has been seriously slacking. Now, usually, I'm a super understanding person. I know life is crazy. People our age are juggling so much stuff. Part-time jobs, unpaid internships, full school loads, and just trying to keep our mental health from totally crashing. I get it. But this project is way too huge, and I am so tired of carrying the entire group on my back. I am already stressed enough without having to do 4 people's homework. To make things easier, I made a group chat for us. I stepped up as the leader because nobody else was saying anything. I assigned everyone specific roles and broke the project down into smaller pieces. I figured if everyone just had a small part to focus on, we could actually get it done. I even told them I was totally fine with taking on the biggest chunk of the work, as long as they just helped me out with their little sections. Thankfully, 2 of my groupmates actually came through. They really stepped up, did their research, and honestly went above and beyond on their parts. It was such a relief. But then, there is the last group member. This girl hasn't touched the project at all. Not a single word. One of my other group members even pointed out that she is literally never in our lectures. She's like a ghost. So, trying to be nice, I reached out to her privately. I just wanted to make sure she was doing okay. I thought maybe she was dealing with a family emergency, or maybe she was super sick. Nope. She replied and thanked me for checking in. But then she dropped the craziest excuse. She told me that where she lives, all her classes are online, and the local health restrictions just lifted. So instead of doing our project, she has been out enjoying her time at clubs, bars, and restaurants. She literally told me she was too busy partying, but she would try to get to the project this week. I was so mad I couldn't even see straight. I asked her super nicely to please have her portion done by yesterday so the rest of us could look it over and fine-tune everything before turning it in. I waited all day. She didn't touch the document, so I messaged her again, asking her to just get it done by today instead. Still nothing. Total silence. So I messaged her again this morning. I was stressing out because the deadline is tomorrow. Instead of apologizing, she actually snapped at me. She texted me back with major attitude, telling me to get off her back and saying she will just do it tomorrow. Tomorrow! That is the day it's due. I completely do not trust her to actually get it done. And even if she does write something at the very last second, that leaves my team with basically 0 time to review her work, fix her mistakes, and write our final conclusion. It is cutting it way too close for a project that controls my entire graduation. Then, a miracle happened. Apparently, another group in our class had a similar problem with a slacker. Our professor made an announcement to the whole class, saying that if we are dealing with anyone who isn't doing their work,
we need to speak up now. She said, if we have proof, she will give us individual grades instead of failing the whole group.
I have everything. I have all the screenshots of her telling me she's out clubbing, her telling me to get off her back, and the Google Doc edit history showing she hasn't typed a single word. So, would I be the a-hole for sending an email to my professor with all this proof, basically causing my classmate to fail? Am I overreacting? Should I just wait and pray this girl actually does the work? Update. Almost a year later. Hey guys, I got a lot of messages asking for an update, so here is what happened. This was a while ago, but I remember it pretty well, and I hope this helps anyone else dealing with this kind of drama. In the end, it turned out basically every group in the class was dealing with a slacker. So many people complained that the professor just decided to change the rules for everyone. She announced that every single person would get an individual grade, and she forced us all to fill out peer evaluations detailing exactly who did what. When the professor sent that email out, the girl in my group who had been clubbing totally panicked. She realized she couldn't hide behind our hard work anymore. At the absolute last second, she rushed into the Google Doc and finally filled out her section. When I read what she wrote, it was so bad. It was super rough, didn't make sense, and was full of wrong information. If the professor saw it, she was going to fail for sure. I know I should have just let her fail, especially after she gave me so much attitude, but I just felt bad. So, I texted her. I asked if she wanted me to read over her part and help her fix it. Her whole attitude changed immediately. She apologized so much. She fully admitted that she had been totally blowing off the project, that she wasn't taking it seriously, and that she was completely in the wrong. She sounded really stressed and scared. So we hopped on a call and spent hours polishing her section together. We fixed the bad info, made it sound smart, and she actually ended up getting a decent grade. Afterward, she sent me this really long, sweet message thanking me for saving her. My professor actually announced that from now on, she's only doing individual grading to avoid this mess, which is amazing. So, my advice to anyone out there: group projects absolutely suck. They are the worst. But they are kind of like real life. You will always meet people who don't want to pull their weight, and you have to learn how to deal with them. Do not be afraid to stand up for yourself and tell a teacher or boss if someone is ruining your hard work. But also, remember to just be kind. Even though she was so annoying at first, it felt way better to help her out in the end. Now there is no bad blood between us, and I graduated. Let's see what the commenters had to say about this. The top comment says, "Not the a-hole at all. She is totally ignoring the project because she just wants to go clubbing. If she was actually going through a real-life problem, that's different. But her choosing to get drunk is putting all the stress on you. Report her right now." Another person added, "As a professor, please tell your teacher. We want to know if someone is ghosting the group. Letting a slacker get a free pass ruins the whole point of the assignment. Send those screenshots." And a third person agreed. "Absolutely not the a-hole. I am too busy living my best life is not an excuse for ignoring homework. Send the email and protect your own grade. It is her own fault if she fails the class." This post is honestly such a roller coaster. I feel like everyone watching this has had at least one group project where they had to do literally all the work while someone else took the credit. It is the most frustrating feeling in the world, especially when you are a first-generation student trying to make your family proud. The OP had every right to just hit send on that email and let the slacker face the consequences of her own actions. The girl was literally out partying while OP was having a meltdown over the deadline. But honestly, the ending shows exactly what kind of person the OP really is. To actually turn around and help the girl who was so rude to you takes a lot of maturity. It really proves that kindness goes a long way, even when the other person doesn't totally deserve it.